Hello, I'm Wicked, and this is.
Gwen,
How are you doing?
I'm doing mighty fine. How about you?
Good, thank you. And tonight we're going to talk about Am I the Asshole? and I changed my look because of certain things, but, anyways, yep. Am I the Asshole is the topic of tonight on Ducky and the Alien. Okay, so let's start.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just gonna get my phone set up and then I can read to you my Am I the Assholes? And feel free to bleep those out.
Okay.
Yeah, so let me just go to my, because that's a little too even for me to, I might have a stigma. Okay. Am I the asshole for canceling my babysitter after my wife decides not to attend my work holiday? Yeah, by 3 a.m. work, even a.m. work, held our annual holiday party. It was held at one of the axe throwing places where I'd never been before, so I figured it'd be pretty fun. My wife, 36 years old female, and I have 3 kids.
Ages 10, 8, and
Uh,
5.
so we do get out of the house very often. The holiday party almost planned 2 months ago. That would be in October, I guess.
Right.
And the idea of, let's see, and my wife agreed to attend with me. I suggested we make it a date by each other going out for drinks after the party and catching a late night movie. She thought it was a good idea too. I arranged it for a babysitter. Oh boy. To come watch the kids. Okay. The day of the party, my wife got home and told me she had a horrible day and was in a bad space mentally, and she didn't want to go to the party. I told her I was disappointed, but I understood she wanted to stay home. I was getting myself ready to head to the party. I called the babysitter and canceled. I apologized to her and offered a Venmo to an hour's worth of agreed
Dollar.
$30 to compensate for the cancellation, and she agreed that was reasonable. As I was getting ready to leave, my wife asked me when the babysitter was going to come. I kind of looked at her funny and told her I had canceled the babysitter. She was no longer coming. She got mad at me and told me that I knew she had a bad day and was in a bad mental state and needs some time for herself. I told her I had assumed that she was incapable of watching our kids when I didn't think of the
Think.
babysitter coming when my wife was still home. She told me she got back, she could still come and watch the kids. I told her if she wants to do that, she can, but I'm not going to. She
Oh
tried to
my.
argue with me, but I told her that while I was at the party, she had multiple tasks, and the kids were driving her nuts, if you would. And the babysitter didn't answer her calls. She came, she needed to come home.
Oh.
She, yeah, I think the wife was, anyways, let's keep reading. She kept blowing up my phone. Eventually, after left the party over an hour early. Yeah. When I got there, she kept arguing with me about how I was a asshole, konoyano, in Japanese, if you're wondering, for
Right.
canceling the babysitter when she had a rough day. I told her I was not going to pay a babysitter just so that my wife could rest after a bad day. Okay, this guy might be, but I don't know. I told her she could just have her own a
Oh.
movie and the kids
And
with one of the
relax.
kids and relaxed. I told her the one who
You told
ruined
her
our
she was the
potential
one
night off.
who ruined our
Told
potential
her
night
she
out.
was the one, yeah, potential night out for having a bad day. Oh,
But a bad day of work is not a good enough reason to pay a babysitter $150 to $200. Oh God,
oh, that
no.
money's the root of all evil, I tell ya. Money's the root of all evil, kids.
Right.
She can't. She still thinks I'm a kodoyaro. That's Japanese for asshole.
Yes.
For killing the babysitter without talking to her first, and she still is mad at me for it. Oh, this guy's English. But I didn't think there was unreasonable assumption considering that it would have been plenty of times when I had a bad day and I was still 100% capable of watching the kids by myself while my wife leaves the house. Edit. Hey everyone, be cool it, purely speculative cheating angle. My wife goes to yoga class with 5 other moms in the neighborhood, so unless they're all stepping out of their houses
We're all in cahoots
or all
together,
cahoots together, she is not
not
cheating.
cheating.
Our neighborhood is not really a TV show or
Not a
real life
reality TV
like
show.
that.
Yeah.
She's an introvert and she also
And when she gets to her social limit,
she gets to a social limit. She doesn't want to go out. That sounds like someone with Asperger's. The guy might. I don't know. What do you think about this guy? Kodoyaro
I know.
asshole.
I wouldn't consider the guy the asshole for canceling on a babysitter, considering the wife decided not to attend the work holiday party.
Yes,
Anyway,
I
so
think
she
she
had
was.
to ruin his day just because she was mad at him for canceling on the babysitter and the fact that she was gonna stay home. And since she's the mother, it's her job to take care of her children. Like, come on,
Yeah,
how hard is that?
that.
Like, even in the worst
Yeah,
days, my mother still took care of me, no matter what mood she was in.
same thing.
She's
I
not
think she was.
perfect. Like, she's not perfect, granted, but she still took care of me,
Same
regardless of
with
how
my.
she felt. Honestly, some people
I
are just
think she
ridiculous.
was. I think the wife was the Kodoyaro. Your turn.
Story, and this is from Top Cup 1731. Am I the asshole
Yeah.
for not giving my pregnant ex money for her baby? Here we go. I,
Oh, this
Michelle,
is.
21, female, was in a lesbian relationship with Paige, 23, female. We had a very toxic relationship. She had cheated multiple times. The occasion that did it for me was when she slept with my sister. Oh, man.
He
Now
slept
she's
with
in a.
you.
Yes, her
Oh,
sister, of all people. Ouch.
ouch!
If
I
you
can
thought
feel
cheating with a friend is worse, try cheating with
that.
a family member. Oh, that is 10 times worse. No. Oh
Oh
my
man,
goodness.
that hurt a
That's
mess.
just that's just wrong on so many levels.
Yes, that's a bastardly thing to do.
Right. Alrighty, continuing on. Now she's in a straight relationship and is now 5 months pregnant. She has asked me on several occasions to help her buy things for the baby, to which I have given her $25 and $30 here and there for the last 3 months. I have told her before that I can't give her too much as I still need to buy food and other essentials for myself. A couple of days ago, she asked me if I could give her $150 to pay for a stroller, car, seat, and more clothes for the baby, to which I told her no, I can't afford it. I need to buy myself food and essentials. She told me that she would pay me back in a few months, which I highly doubt she will, but continuing on, after she has given birth. I told her that was unacceptable and that it is not my responsibility to pay for your child. She later called that day screaming at me, calling me an asshole. My phone hasn't stopped going off. Her friends and family have been calling and texting me nonstop saying that it's only money and that I have to help her. Ooh!
Oh.
So at least we now know where she gets her entitled attitude from. Oh my god. I don't think that I
Uh,
do.
that's more than an asshole. That's a psychopath.
Right.
That's a
Definitely a psychopath. For sure. Yep.
real,
My god.
real Konoyaro.
Yep. Pretty much. I called her
Yeah.
this morning and told her if you can't afford to raise a child, you shouldn't have gotten pregnant. Ooh. Harsh. But
I
let's
would have
finish.
told that say I would have told
Yeah.
the same thing to my birth mother.
Yeah. Right, right. I may have gone too far with that statement. I'm starting to think that maybe I should have given her the money and saved myself the drama. So Reddit, am I the asshole? Here's a simple answer. No, you were not. Your needs come first. Your food and essentials
Yeah,
come first before everything else. And if
that's true.
you have no obligation to take care of someone else's child if you don't want to, even if it's with your toxic ex, okay?
Oh, I know that for a fact.
Yeah. It's like, I actually agree with that person. If you can't afford to raise a child, you shouldn't have gotten pregnant. Boom. Why couldn't we have said that to parents with unwanted children? Come on now. Come on
That's
now.
right.
Anyone with
What a
me?
love.
Everyone with us. Come on.
Come on,
Alright.
yalla, yalla.
Yes. Alright, next one.
Okay. Am I the Konoyaro for telling my husband he will be always a second or second? My younger
Mm-hmm.
brother has developed a neurological disorder in his teens. When he's old enough,
He became my
he
responsibility.
became my responsibility. He seems to be just like everyone else. He
But he
needs
needs.
supervision, but it's very difficult for him to live on his own. My
Mm-hmm.
husband knew this when we started dating. I told him a billion times that my brother will always be my priority. He understood. My husband and brother's relationship has been decent. My brother doesn't really care for him too much, and my husband treats him kindly. Like I said,
It's quite
he,
understanding.
yep. Things started to change a couple months ago. He was not mean. He was just distant. I asked him if everything was all right with, and when he asked me if my brother would ever move out, oh Christ.
Oh boy.
I told him, yeah. I told him the truth. Most likely, no. Of course, we didn't know what the future was going to bring, but my brother still needs me at this moment in time. My husband didn't push it. The other day, my husband came home with a few of his coworkers, and
She was given no
no
warning.
and was calling my brother so he wouldn't get overwhelmed when he came home.
From his job. but his phone
from
was
his
dead.
job. But his phone was dead, so when he did come home, he was extremely overwhelmed. I had to tell him to take him on a walk. My husband called me several times
While we were
on
out
a
on
week
this walk,
on this walk, but I didn't answer. Honestly, I was a little annoyed and mostly busy with my brother. We
mm-hmm,
went home eventually, and his coworkers had finally left, thankfully. I was
just
just,
going to let it go. But here's
my
where it gets bad,
husband,
ladies and gentlemen.
my husband yelled
Yelled at
at
me.
me. Oh, yelled. Yuck. That's even worse. Never yell at a woman.
Nope.
Okay, so the husband yelled at her for embarrassing him in front of his coworkers.
I
I
asked
asked
him what
him,
he meant by that, and he explained that I had a bad attitude with everyone and was very inhospitable.
oh yeah, and he said I did,
Act like his wife.
and one of his coworkers made fun of my husband for marrying such a poor of excuse of
Excuse
a
a
woman.
woman.
What? This guy's a fucker.
Right.
Excuse me. And but he meant cook for them, entertain them. Keep in mind, giving him
Had he
everything
given
he
me a
wanted.
warning,
I would have
done so with
got.
no complaints.
I would have given me a warning. No complaints, and what I was supposed to read his mind. I told him to snap out of it, and he should know better. My husband rolled his eyes and told me that I
That I
had my
only have my
brother
brother in my head
in my head, and he was just a second thought. He called me, oh,
and
my
call my
brother.
brother
He,
the F slur,
oh,
the R slur. Call me the
oh
R slur.
God, the R word.
Go. Man,
This guy's a freak.
he is.
This
Right?
made me extremely angry, which I can don't blame her on that. And I told him there is no use getting mad at me. He married me knowing that he'll be
Always
second.
be second.
Yeah, he called me
Insufferable.
insufferable before. Yeah, that means like
Leaving.
infuriating before leaving, and
Now he's
with
with
his
his mom now.
mom,
And she
and
yelled at
she
me for
yelled.
coddling my brother and neglecting my husband. Oh boy.
This
I'm
is
curious and need to let off
the
steam.
R slur. This whole story's the R slur on his
Yeah.
end.
Am I the asshole?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and just in case anyone gets the wrong idea, my husband isn't involved in my brother's care, like at all.
Oh, oh, oh. Not
Not
even
even
financially.
financially.
I
I
wouldn't put
would.
that burden on him. Right.
He did get a few therapy sessions just to learn to understand my brother's disability, but that's it. What an asshole that guy
Oh
is.
god. My
Bro.
god, yeah. Yup, but it did state early on that he seemed understanding at first, but over time it
But
became a huge
the
issue.
R word,
Yeah.
when it comes down to the R word, man, that shit. I don't like that word.
Right, because it is originally used to make fun of people with disabilities. Also,
Yep,
I believe the woman was ultimately at fault too, because look at the title here. It's clearly stated that her husband will always be second. No, 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 no. If you're gonna marry someone, no. Marriage has to come first before everything else. You shouldn't let everything else get in the way of your marriage. If you're willing to let something like your family member's disability get in the way of your marriage, then you shouldn't even be married in the first place. Just saying.
agreed.
Either have someone else care for that sibling or don't marry at all. It's like, if you're gonna make someone else
Yeah,
second priority to you, then no, that's just not acceptable. So, in
that's not
in my
right.
conclusion, the category falls under everybody sucks here. Because no,
Except
everybody
for the
sucked here.
brother who has a disability.
Yes,
He was the innocent
exactly.
one.
He was the innocent one entirely. Honestly, you shouldn't have to
Yeah,
be caught between two people.
the other two were assholes.
Yes. And
Eh,
basically, I would just divorce this. If anyone were to call a family member of mine the R word, I would divorce. I would divorce, no questions
I'd do
asked, or not marry them at
worse.
all.
I'd do worse. I would do a lot worse. I'd stalk him. I'd creep him out. I would do everything to know that I'm very angry with him.
Right. Here's the
Because
thing
that's just
here.
the way I am.
Yeah. Here's the thing here. Like, no. I think caring for a disabled family member should be a two-way street with the wife and the husband. Not just the wife, and most certainly not just the husband. It should be two-way, not just one-way. Sorry, but
Just
caring
like
for a
with any
family
child,
member should
with
not
a
be a one-way
child.
street at all. If it's going to be a one-way street like this, definitely shouldn't have been married to begin with. Just no, no, no. I
No
would not,
way. Jose.
no. No husband of mine is going to be second. Husband
No
first.
husband or wife. That's
Right.
right.
And if I were the husband, the wife goes first. Vice versa. Okay? Especially when it comes to
I got
caring for a family member, or we need to both
a child.
agree to care for each
The
other's family
darn person.
members,
Yeah.
you know, disabled or not. Just saying. Come on.
Yes.
Come on. This is
Okay,
some
next.
Dr. Phil-esque there. Really is.
Yeah. Holy, that
Continuing
guy's
on.
a. Okay, what's the
Okay.
next story? Morning Glory?
Am I the asshole for not staying while someone called the police on me for trespassing? Quote unquote.
Okay.
Oh, oh my. I was flying a drone with my friend when all of a sudden it fell. Not sure what went wrong, but it just fell. Thankfully without any damage in some grassy area. We were in a rural area and in a park. I got some drone
Okay.
footage of a lake and a river. I went to where the drone fell and picked it up, and three women came over and asked me what they were doing on their property. It was just a grassy area. There was a house about 500 feet away. I guess there's. I told them my drone fell and I came to pick it up, and they tried to block me from getting to it and said I need to leave their property and I'm not allowed on it. I told them I'm just taking my drone and I'll leave, and they said, leave or I'm calling the police. I walked past them and picked up the drone, and they said they were calling the police and I need to legally stay to deal with it. I told them to off and walked off. I drove away and fixed my drone later, and with the drone, my friends and I laughed as we saw the police show up at the house, and the women are pointing at the drone while talking to the police. We got a little bit
Oh.
nervous and drove a bit further. My sister says we were assholes. We later saw this on a local Facebook group, pervs using drones to spy on women, and they bitched about how some Mexicans, quote unquote, were perving on them. Weird Brazilians, but whatever. Same shit toilet, right? Couldn't be more
Yeah,
racist than that, ladies and
that
gentlemen.
the women were assholes.
The
The women
women, for sure.
were
And
totally on.
the drone just landed on the property by accident. It was not on
Yes, by
purpose. And
accident.
I'm pretty
Yes,
sure they weren't trying to record these women either.
I don't think. By the way, the women were acting. I don't think that they looked like the kind that they would want to
Right.
record. They would probably remind me of hags.
Right.
You know, hags or
Yeah.
crones or something to that effect.
Yes. My God. My God. My God. My God.
Okay, the
Okay.
next story is. Oh, I can always get the long ones.
Right.
Okay, am I the asshole for refusing to attend my sister's Reddit? Oh, that's even worse. My
Yep.
opinion.
Oh.
Sorry, wedding because her fiance stole my business idea. Okay, I am 28 female to find myself in a
In a
really
really tough spot.
tough spot and need some honest opinions on what I should do. My sister, 25 female, is getting married soon, and the entire family is ecstatic, but I'm not. Her fiance, 30 male, stole my stole a business idea from me a
A
few
few
years
years
back, and I am seriously considering skipping the wedding.
because of it.
Backstory is I've been working on a unique business concept for a few years. Told my sister about it, thought we were close. Fast forward a bit, and lo and behold, her fiance launches the same bit damn business, basically stealing my idea and profiting
Profiting.
from it. Yep. The scheme is what's funding their wedding. I confronted them
Them.
about it, but they played dumb, acting like it was just a coincidence. And they had no idea I was furious, hurt, betrayed, but for the sake of the family, I decided not to hold the issue any further. Now the wedding is approaching, and my parents are pressuring me to attend. I after I
After.
mentioned yeah after I mentioned the
To them.
to them that I wanted to skip it. They argue that the family comes first. I think that sounds like the mafia,
Mm-hmm.
and I should have put aside my grievances for the sake of my sister's big day. And on the other
On.
hand, I feel like if I was attending, it would be a big slap in the face. I feel it would signal what they did is forgivable, and I'm okay with being walked all over. So am I the asshole for wanting to skip my sister's wedding after this? Should I put aside my feelings and be there for them, or is it fair for me to stand against what I feel is a major betrayal? I am torn. Edit. A few of you really wanted to know what the business idea was. I can't go into any detail as it's pretty niche and would be an easy
To
to
look up.
look up and find.
Too much personal info on my BIL.
Part of my brother-in-law. I can tell you that it was going to be an app idea. It's identical to the idea I was
I was
working on. Also, some people are defending the BIL,
by
saying
saying the
I wasn't going through with it. I had to take part
part-time
at
entrepreneurship
entrepreneurship classes at the local college to teach myself how to build an
and
app
up at the time.
at the same time. I told my sister, I showed her what I was working on. He stole the idea before I had the chance to go through with it.
And sold it to his
Okay,
buds.
and now he co-owns it. Ugh.
Bro.
I think there
I think
it's
it's
also
also important to note
that I dabble in photography, and from the
from
conversations with my parents, sound like my sister wants me to photograph the wedding for her, but I have not
heard
heard
anything.
anything about intended payment for photographing her wedding. So by not going only will it cause a bit of drama, I'd also be leaving them without a photographer.
according to my
According
mom.
to my mom, I never agreed to
Photograph.
photograph. This apparently assumed by my sister. What an asshole the sister is.
Yeah. By some of the comments defending the brother-in-law, which is in the comments of the post, by the way, they are basically telling her, just get over and go to wedding. That's basically what it is to me. I'm honestly
Oh
surprised I
my
haven't gone off on those people, but hey, it is what it is. I just
Yeah,
hope that the situation was resolved by hopefully her not going to the wedding.
and them getting a clue.
Right. Okay, let's go to the
Okay,
next one.
which was?
Am I the asshole for skipping Christmas with my family because my mother doesn't want my stepson to take part in a family tradition? Oh boy, this is gonna get ugly here.
Yes, it will get ugly. Like,
Right.
really.
My
Okay.
33 male parents, 64 female, 68 male, own a country house, and there's this tradition for every child in our family to plant a tree there. I did it myself when I was 5, and so did my mother and my sister, and all my nephews and nieces. I have a 6-year-old daughter with my ex-girlfriend. My mother called me to ask if I'll have my daughter for Christmas. We usually spend Christmases in the country house, because now she's old enough to plant her tree. I told her that my daughter will spend Christmas with her mother. I'll see her a few days before going to the country house, but I also said that my stepson's 7 male, my wife's 36 female son from her first marriage would be there. And here's where it gets sad. My mother was silent for a moment and told me she didn't consider having my stepson plant his own tree. I was very offended by that. It made clear that she doesn't see him as part of our family. She then said there's no guarantee he'll remain in our lives, which obviously implies she's considering that my marriage to his mother may not last. I told her if that's how she feels, she should not expect us for Christmas this year. Was I too harsh? I wonder if I could be an H because it's her property after all, and she does have the final say. Nah, definitely not the asshole. She needs to learn her lesson. She needs to learn her
Who
lesson
the
for sure.
Yeah, the mother's the asshole.
Well, you can't just automatically assume that a spouse is gonna just walk out within a few years just because you don't like them. That's just ridiculous. That's
That
the
is
vibe I'm getting from this
it.
post. For real. Like, for real, no. If
Yep.
I were in the OP situation, yeah, I would definitely say the same thing that they said to her. Anyway,
Okay.
continuing on. Okay,
Uh.
next one.
Yeah.
Am I the asshole for pointing out my boyfriend wastes a lot of money when he says sexist things?
Okay. My BF and I have been dating for 2 years. Recently, my beloved Honda Accord died after 320k miles, and I had to immediately get another car as public
Public
transport
transport,
was not an option. My BF started showing me BMWs, and we went to see the BMW 3 Series
which is from 2017, yeah.
2017. It was 26k, which was wild for me as I can get a new car at that price. I ended up with a Toyota Corolla across from 14k. He called me boring
For it.
for it.
Like, what the
Yeah,
hell?
yeah. What the hell? The girl has to go and do stuff. Like he has to go and go places, and I didn't care at all about cars, so I didn't mind a boring car.
Okay, then.
On the other hand, keeps complaining that women spend too much on clothing. I have
The same amount of
same
clothes.
amount of clothing as him. He just doesn't realize it and thinks clothes and spend way more on him on clothes.
Because each of my pieces costs a lot more, I buy a lot less of them, but they last for 5 to 10 years.
Like six cashmere sweaters, which are over $200 each. But I buy one a year.
I bought another
I
one
bought
this year
another one for 60% off. He complained that I spend too much on the
on these
sweaters.
sweaters.
Yeah. And I challenged him to figure out if he could spend on clothes versus me. We both went through our credit cards. He spent almost double what I did on my clothes.
Because he bought 14 pieces and I bought 3 this year. Because my stuff is really nice, they just last forever.
For example, every 3 months, he needs a new pair of jeans because his rips, I have the same pair for over a decade. Mine cost over $100.
And his was 30. Haha.
His was 30. Yeah.
He needs winter boots every year,
Yep.
and it's
I
usually leaking water by spring.
yep.
My
and
boots are
then
5 years old and still fine,
and which was still fine. Yep.
but his is 50 and mine are 200. I wonder
Yep.
why. He got
Fine.
mad and said each of my clothes are still way more expensive and I spend way too much per piece.
Yep.
I had spent a long time trying to make the point to him that better stuff is worth the price.
Yep. Better stuff is worth the price. And pointed out he spends a lot on his car, his Audi A4, and it's like nine hundred
900
dollars a month, while any car would do.
do.
So why is he wasting money on cars when I can buy a sweater that lasts for years?
Let me guess.
It
It's a waste of money.
Yeah, it's a waste of money because he admits the terms of mileage of a Toyota will do more miles in its life than the Audi. He snaps.
He snaps
He's
back.
not snaps back. Not okay with the
Boring
boring car
car.
and ignored me for 2 days. I feel like
He's
he's
okay with
okay
spending
with
way too
that.
much on a car.
Yeah, but because it's a guy thing. But since
Or girly. It's a
girly,
waste.
it's a waste, but it pissed
Sexist!
him off. Yes, access pissed him off.
When he
Actually,
saw
spent
I
less
just spent. Oh, yeah.
less on girly things than him, which that is just sad. I think he's the asshole.
I agree. Lady is definitely not the asshole, for sure. Who the
That's right.
hell gets worked up over buying such better stuff at a better price than something
Yeah.
cheap that doesn't work as good? You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like, come on now. I'd say the woman is smart. This
Yeah.
woman saves up real good. I wish I had the patience to save up instead of just throwing away my money, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I
Like,
agree.
why can't the
Save.
guy just learn to admire her spending habits, instead of just downgrading her for it? I don't
Yeah.
understand.
I don't understand that either.
Right.
I don't understand.
But it is what it is with some people, I guess.
They're
If they want to live
drama
in the 50s,
assholes.
yeah, they want to live in the draconic age where women stay in the kitchen and don't work and be robots.
That's stupid.
Right.
Yeah, that is silly. That was the last of my selection. You have to have the others now.
Yeah, this one is my selection, so yay. Am I the asshole for canceling my plans with my cousin's kids over them calling me a hurtful nickname? Here we go. My 19 female mom is mixed indigenous black, and I look a lot like her. So I'm considerably darker than the rest of my dad's, mostly Italian and German family. When I was a little kid, my cousins used to make fun of me a lot because of that, and had a specific nickname for me that could be translated as Little Cole. I guess the nickname by itself isn't that bad, but I associate it with bad memories. Oh boy.
Yeah, that's enough to do it.
Yeah, Little Cole. Doesn't seem like a racist term to me, but apparently there's a bad history with it, judging by what I'm reading. And literally, it's the first time I ever heard this phrase used to describe someone that's racially different. Anyway, continuing on. I was taking my cousin's kids, who is 6 male and 8 female, to get ice cream when they started calling me that nickname. I asked them to please not call me that because it made me very sad, but they continued calling me it. I asked them 2 more times to not do it, but since they kept going, I called my cousin to notify her that something had come up and I couldn't take the kids to ice cream anymore. I explained to them that I was dropping them off and they thought I was kidding until I got them to their house and bid goodbye. Then they started apologizing, but I told them that I was hurt by them not stopping when I asked them to and went away. My cousin called me to say that I was being immature and now her kids were crying because their aunt was upset at them. She also said that kids this age don't understand consequences, so me canceling was just an asshole move, since they wouldn't understand it was because they were calling me the nickname. Am I the asshole here? I don't have kids, so I honestly didn't know what to do. I just canceled because I really hate the nickname, and it felt like I would have a very bad time if they kept calling me it the entire time. I feel like I am entitled to not like them calling me it, but that maybe I dealt with the situation wrong. Well, I'm gonna say the obvious that she's not the asshole.
Yes.
However,
No, he's not.
however, the OP should have been transparent with that cousin the first time the incident transpired and just told them the reason why she took
The kids
the
back home. Yes.
yes. It would have less likely caused the drama to escalate. You know, that's what I would have done in OP's situation. If they were to keep calling me a name that's disrespectful. But, you know, what's done is done. But this is
Mm-hmm.
a lesson to folks out there that if you're going to take your kids home because they engaged in bad behavior, just tell
Yep.
their parents so in the first place. Tell them the reason why you took them home to begin with, instead of just going all dodgy on it, if you will.
Yep.
OP had good intentions, but yeah, definitely she should have been transparent about it the first time. Just saying. Yeah, other than that, I definitely agree that if you're gonna be that disrespectful to me, then yeah, I'm gonna tell you. Just saying. Just saying. That yes, I do
Yeah.
agree with
Great.
the cousin that kids don't understand consequences, especially at 6 and 8. However, it was your job to teach them about the consequences of actions like that in the first place. So therefore, it was
Yep.
technically her fault that the kids kept doing it. It sounds to me
The
like the kids are
mothers.
entitled, you know, and the parent
Oh
is
God.
entitled.
Yes.
But at least we now know where the kids get their entitlement from.
An important point to be made here is that entitlement is not the only factor to the story. As mentioned early on in OP's post, racism played a role, considering that OP is one of the very few dark skinned members of her family, being mostly made of European heritage. So it has been made clear that OP's cousins haven't really learned from their mistake. Hence why it was passed down to the children. And as the saying goes, sometimes it is true that your children are a reflection on you.
Yep.
That's my takeaway from this. So, next one. Am I the
Yep.
asshole for giving everything to my daughter? And this is a two-parter. Okay.
Okay.
That's male 35, have a daughter, female 19. I was a terrible dad to her, which I think is expected because I was just a kid. At first, I left her with a family member because I wanted to finish high school. Then I decided to go to college, and after that, I decided to wait until I have a good job and earn some money before I finally decided to raise my own child when she was 13. I feel awful about how I treated her, and I wish I could go back in time and raise her myself. She had a very difficult childhood because the people raising her were poor, and I didn't help. However, now I'm making good money, and for her 18th birthday, I decided to give everything to her: my house, my car, most of my savings, everything. Ooh, not the best idea, OP. Not the best idea.
No.
But let's continue on for the ending. I will start over. My friends all told me I'm crazy and said my daughter will kick me out of home as soon as she gets everything. However, my daughter has never even mentioned the fact that I'm still living at her home, using her car and her money. Ooh. Anyway, I've been dating my girlfriend for 10 months now, and we are in love and thinking about marriage. She has a 15-year-old daughter from a previous relationship. A few days ago, we were talking about getting married, and she told me that she understands if I want a prenup because I'm richer than her. I laughed and told her that she should be the one asking for a prenup because I don't own. She looked surprised and asked me what I mean. Because considering I have a nice house and an expensive car and pretty luxurious lifestyle, this can't be true. Oh god. I explained to her that almost everything is my daughter's and told her the whole story. She asked what if we get married? What about me and my child and our future kids? Do they get nothing? Because everything is my daughter's. I said that I've been saving for almost 2 years now, and I will keep saving, and soon we will be able to have our own house and car. She, however, thinks I'm an asshole, and I've been deceiving her by not telling her that I don't have anything. Another problem is that my daughter doesn't like my girlfriend, and we both know she won't tolerate her living with us, and she will likely kick us out after I get married, and now my girlfriend is furious. Oh, yeah, no. This is why you don't give everything to your daughter as a means of absolving guilt, ladies and gentlemen. But at the same time, he
Hmm.
did so with good intentions. He wanted to have enough money to raise her, but he didn't really think things through on how he went about it. And granted,
Hmm.
she had a difficult childhood because her dad wasn't around, but he did have good intentions for not being around, but still. But
Yeah, that would have
I'm
been
pretty
better.
sure that the people that took care of her did the best they could despite being poor. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, limited resources are still limited resources, so I could totally understand where the
Yes,
daughter's
I
coming from
understand that.
and why the OP did what he did. But yeah, at the end of the day, when you bring someone that is likely a gold digger into the mix, I'm concerned that his relationship with his daughter will deteriorate yet again.
Yes, gold diggers are not good. Gold
Nope.
diggers are scammers.
Yeah, it's just the vibe that I've been getting from reading the last two paragraphs of this post from OP.
It's a gold digger scammer.
Yeah. You know, if I were in the guy's situation, I would break up with her, but at the end of the day, we don't know what the full extent of his situation with the girlfriend is like. His daughter might have a reason for not liking her, but on the other hand, it could be the daughter being a spoiled brat, but who knows? Either way, for now, I'll
Okay,
just take
before
it
we
for what it
get to
is.
what's the next story, Morning Glory?
Here we go. Am I the asshole for telling my youngest son, aged 6, to stop calling my daughter, aged 17, beautiful over and over again? Ooh. Here we go. My 17-year-old daughter is undeniably beautiful. She's the prettiest one in the family, respectfully, and she gets compliments 24/7. A lot of guys and friends she has always ends up having a crush on her or asking her out. It all happens at some point to us. Although I'm glad she's comfortable within her looks, I feel as if it becomes overbearing sometimes. My dad calls her
Yeah.
beautiful a lot. So does her older sister, her friends, random guys in public, etc. She always says thank you, but sometimes I could tell she's getting tired of it. I honestly can't blame her. Her younger brother, 6, is a very sweet kid. He always calls her pretty and beautiful as well, and it's sweet because he looks up to her. Though yesterday he kept saying it over and over again, and I could tell my daughter looked a bit annoyed. So I told him that he can't say so I told him he could say it once and move on. He got a little upset at me and didn't understand. So I told him that she knows she's pretty and that we can give people other compliments as well. Later on that day, my daughter was telling me that she wishes people would compliment her more on her skills rather than her looks. Again, who could blame her? I told her I
Mm-hmm.
understand and that there's nothing wrong with how she feels. I'm not sure if there was a better way to handle it. Am I the asshole? No, you're definitely not the asshole, and
No, you're telling him not to objectify women by their looks.
especially even if it's unintentional.
Mm,
Honestly, there's really no other way that he could have gone about it, to be honest. I think how he went about it was pretty appropriate, especially given the boy's age.
yeah,
For one, I don't think the 6-year-old was even trying to objectify her in the first
I
place.
know that, but
I'm pretty sure that
it would have came
it's because
across that.
I'm thinking it's because due to his age, it's more so because I think it's just saying that innocently and not in a romantic way, to put it that way. He doesn't understand the concept of sex,
Yes,
so there is no
like a
way that it
lot of
could have been anything beyond that at that age, so yeah, it's a bit of a slippery slope on this one.
yeah.
This one.
Good
But
joke.
kudos to the dad for showing him early on that telling
You
someone
should
that they're
treat
beautiful
women
over and
with
over
respect.
again can be objectifying to the woman and could connotate anything romantic or sexual. But yet again, a 6-year-old boy don't understand the concept of romantic or sexual relationships, but it's
Yeah,
never
right.
hurtful to be safe. It's never hurtful to be safe because you're
I know
teaching
that.
something important early on. Anyway, continuing. And this is the last of my selection. And the last
Okay.
Reddit post for this video overall. Alrighty.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for going braless? Here we go. And this is the most relatable one, too. I
Yeah.
live with 3 other girls. One of them has a boyfriend who is almost always here, even when his girlfriend isn't. I have always had a habit of going braless in my own home, hence why I choose to live in an apartment where it was only girls for comfort reasons. However, he is unexpectedly there all the time. Nonetheless, his presence doesn't stop me from not wearing a bra. I find that surprising, considering that she's living in an apartment with mostly girls, which should obviously
Mhm.
be a situation where you're comfortable enough to not wear a bra around them, but let's continue on. Recently, my roommate has come up to me asking if I could wear a bra whenever her boyfriend is over. So always, I rejected it because I felt more comfortable without. She said it was just weird for her and her boyfriend when I don't wear a bra because I'm not close with them and it's like seeing a stranger's tits. I don't wear see-through shirts or tank tops where it is overly visible, but t-shirts and sweaters where you could see the outline of my boobs, but not it themselves. Therefore, I didn't really see the problem, even more so since, well, it was my home. One of my older roommates said it was awkward that I don't wear a bra at home, especially since there was a guy in the house a lot who's dating our roommate. She kind of made me rethink the situation, maybe because I wasn't being considerate of them. So, am I the asshole for making my roommate and her boyfriend uncomfortable for not wearing a bra? I'd say it's more so a 50-50, to put it that way. And there's an edit.
Yes,
There's an edit. So
50
there,
50 for sure.
yeah, edit. So there have been questions about my second roommate's opinion and needs clarification. She doesn't mind me not having a bra.
Mm-hmm.
She just thinks it's weird to not wear one when around men. Even more so when that man is dating
Mm-hmm.
someone you live with. About why the boyfriend is always here, I don't know. One of my roommates told me he lives with his mom, but I assume it's because he and his girlfriend have a baby kitten they're raising, and she has 8-hour workdays and can't leave them alone for a long time, so her boyfriend takes care of them while he is, presumably, a student. And the reason I read the edit before I go on any further is so I can clarify this situation. Anyway, yeah, the reason for the 50-50 answer is because, yes, you're the asshole because you're not being considerate, though not the asshole
Mm-hmm.
because you're not doing so intentionally, and you're, you
Not
know,
being safe.
right. It is very, very ideal to be wearing a bra around men because you just never really know. You just never really know what could go on.
Yes, you never know what goes on in whatever is growing in their head.
Yes, that's correct. And not to mention that regardless of whether you know the person or not, or whether the person is dating someone else or not, there is a good chance that they could still think about doing some
Naughty
nasty
thoughts.
stuff with you if you don't have a bra on. You know what I mean?
Yes, and it can lead to sexual assault and sexual harassment.
Well, thankfully, I've been very lucky in that regard. I've had some personal examples of me getting in trouble for not wearing a bra. First time would be in middle school when I used to dress out in the girls' locker room. Yeah, a teacher told me to wear a bra every day, you know, because it was making the girls uncomfortable or whatever. And some of the
Mm-hmm.
girls' reactions to see me without a bra kind of backed that teacher up, so I can understand. But I still persisted in not wearing a bra on some days. And then there was another
Mm-hmm.
example where when an old neighbor was living here, when I came to visit her, I was not wearing a bra, and she lectured me about putting my bra on because my nipples peeking could attract unwanted attention from men. There was a male living next door to my neighbor at the time who was also a married man, but thankfully I haven't had any issues with him. I mean, he and his wife
Yep.
are excellent people. They have since moved too. But
Okay.
yeah, it's crazy. It's really crazy how how things can be perceived in that type of situation.
Yep.
So
Especially
I'd
with
like to,
sexual organs.
yes, I'd like to believe that the roommate had nothing but the best of intentions and was only trying to protect her from any potential harm that might come from whatever it is
Whatever dude
that
was there.
roommate was dating. Yes. So it's more so on the basis of better safe than sorry prospects.
Yes, I agree. Yes, I do agree.
Exactly.
Okay.
Alright,
Yep.
so that was the last one. Guys,
Yep.
please sure to like.
Hit the subscribe button, the bell button, and the like button if you like our content. And tune in whenever we get this edited. See you then.
See you then, guys.
Bye.
Bye.